Welcome back to another episode of the Pod Guys. My name is Jake Luttrell. I am the Media and Marketing Manager for Edge Home Finance.
And he's got some slippers on today, folks.
Brand new.
Did you buy those today for this
$125.
podcast? Shut up.
$25 on Amazon.
I was like, dude.
Imagine. No, and they're too big, too.
It's okay. You're used to that.
Yeah. Zing.
Brady Holland, eXp Realty. I don't know, Mario Kart expert.
Oh,
that's what we're going with. All right. And special guest, tall man himself, Brett Reinhardt with Fairway Mortgage.
Thank you guys for having me today.
I am pumped. Gosh, we've done one podcast together back during the fireside chat.
Yeah.
You know, technically we've maybe done 3 podcasts together already. Because we did two.
Yep.
We did one with Nick, and then one with my brother.
Yes.
Nick Weiss?
No, Nick
Theory.
Oh, okay.
And then we did the original fireside chat when we used to do it at a fire pit.
That's true. We did it at my house.
Yes.
Shout out.
Those were the days.
Where do you live?
Golden Valley.
Oh, okay.
So not
now.
too far.
Nice.
For now.
How long?
A couple more weeks. So
Weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
When's
We're
the
moving
closing?
up to Plymouth. Middle of April. So
I was
What
like,
part
are we
of,
closing the same day? Like,
yeah, roughly.
I'm closing April 3rd now.
Oh, okay, 16th. So
Your birthday?
My 22nd birthday, yeah.
wow.
He remembered everybody. He did it.
I keep having to remind
I'm
myself.
closing like 2 weeks before my 28th birthday. So,
Oh, look at that.
You know, it's a
But
good.
this is what, your fourth house you're buying?
Nah, like third. Yeah.
Are you throwing the investment property in there?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
So it's only the
Nice.
third. Yeah, I flipped a house last year, so I count that.
That was cool.
It was cool. It worked out well, but we made some money, and we got it off our hands, and we learned a lot. So
Yeah.
What part of Plymouth?
like north side, like almost like on the edge of like Plymouth Maple Grove.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think like
Which side of 494? East or west?
It's just west. Like so you have
that's
to,
a nice area.
You have to go east to get underneath 494 on like Chicandra Trail or something like that.
Yep.
And then it's somewhere over there. Like
Bass
you go,
Lake. Like,
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Nice.
I know
Yeah.
exactly where you're at. That's a nice little area over there, though.
It's super nice, and I got family out there, which is super nice, and I mean, still close to kind of everything, cities and work, and so.
Yeah, Blake Geyer lives like right over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How's Blake doing?
Good, man.
Is he?
Good guy. I talked to him. He was golfing. So,
Nice.
I was gonna say, we said that when we walked in. We said, "Why aren't we all golfing today?"
Yeah, Jake. Yeah, we
I
gotta get you out
just talked to my mom. My mom had surgery yesterday. She's fine.
Okay.
She's fine.
there.
And I was
She's taking a break from being on a plane for a little while.
Yeah.
Good.
So, anyways, I was like, I want to start golfing, but it's so fucking expensive.
So expensive.
Dude, you're fine.
I don't have clubs either.
You're fine. Second swing.
Second
$200
swing.
Is
Is that
the
like
truth.
played against sports,
Yeah.
but for golf?
Basically, but it's
Yeah.
way nicer.
Is
you know?
it?
It's. I mean, you can get anything.
You could go to
from
play it
like,
again, dude.
You could get a set
Honestly,
of clubs
yeah.
for like $100 that are like as crappy as ever, or you could like spend like $300 and get like a decent set. Like
Yeah.
they got
Or
everything-
You
or
could
brand
probably
new.
spend about $5,000 too if you want.
No.
Yeah, you could
No.
do that, or more probably.
Yeah,
just get
no.
everything custom fit and brand new.
See,
That's the
even
thing
back,
with the
back in my-
tattoo. It's like $700 a month. So it's like, fuck, I forgot about it. It's an investment, 8 to 10 sessions. It's
that's
like,
gonna be
yeah.
I can't start any new hobbies for like 8 months.
that's a good ROI right there.
Yeah.
Gonna get a lot of.
A lot of business.
Hey, but as long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Thank you,
right?
Brad.
I got you.
Thank you.
You know what we should do? That should be an episode. We should get QR codes of the pod gods on our ass.
That would
Ooh.
actually be hilarious. Were
Just
we
like a
talking-
little one?
Could
Do
be.
QR codes work on skin?
I think so.
Do they?
I've seen people get tattoos of like
The Spotify.
like the Spotify.
Oh,
so I feel
yeah.
like QR codes have to work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on our cheeks.
That would be funny.
That would be
Like an
hilarious.
episode? Yeah. We could have my tattoo artist come in and do it.
On
That
the
would
episode, like while you're doing the podcast.
We're interviewing him while he's tattooing our asses.
That could be a
for
great
Patreon.
episode.
Cheek to cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, we're way off topic.
Origin story?
Yeah, let's
Start
do it.
there.
Origin story.
Yeah, we wanna know
Where
about
were you
you.
born? Siblings?
Chaska to
Yeah,
Arizona.
I mean, I was originally born in, I guess, I grew up, or I should say, the first 2 years of my life were in Ramsey, Minnesota.
Oh.
So north side.
Yes.
But then we did
Okay.
move. Before I even had consciousness, I moved out to Chanhassen. So I only remember Chanhassen, but I lived there for, basically my whole childhood and all the way up until college, and then even through college, I was living there.
Jeez. Dude, you
No,
checked
okay.
like 6 times. You
No, that's
checked
fair.
6 times.
Hey, that's fair. Got to make sure it's rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I grew up in Chanhassen, like kind of right on the border of Chanhassen, Eden Prairie, and yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Small little school called Southwest Christian High School. We're talking about Josh Little. He coaches hockey there. So,
does he?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So great school. They've grown like when I first got there, there was maybe like 160 kids total. We were in a warehouse, like an actual warehouse for school, and so it went super hard. But then we built a school my junior year, like an actual school, and now they're about 3 or 4 times the size of.
cool.
Nice.
So it's pretty legit now. We
Yeah.
go play basketball there on Sundays, which is fun. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you still at Chanhassen? Because they made a run at the tourney.
yeah, they beat Minnetonka, the
Huge
undefeated
upset.
Minnetonka.
I actually-
Huge upset.
Crazy.
I'm not a sports guy, but I think I saw that.
Dude, it
Crazy.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Was that when they broke the glass celebrating?
Was it then?
I think
there was
somebody,
I feel like
some
a couple
team,
people broke glass,
which is crazy.
That would be
fans
hard.
in the stand,
That's
like-
thick glass.
yeah, it's crazy. You gotta be going real crazy to break
Yeah.
that. But
Hey, that's the tourney though,
yeah, it's true.
Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
So-
Do you have siblings?
I do. I have one full blood brother.
Okay.
His name's Nate.
Nate, shout out Nate.
He's married, and then
He's taking
I
your
got a
job,
couple of half siblings and a couple of step siblings. So just
Okay.
like real mixed family, but it's fun.
Sweet.
lot of different kinds of siblings, but they're all like just brothers and sisters to me. So
Yeah.
Let's touch on Nate for a second.
let's
Yeah.
touch on him. Sorry.
Let's
Touch
him.
Nate.
Fun Across America,
Yeah.
dude. YouTube legend.
He is
What?
he is a YouTube legend.
He just went to Dubai for YouTube. Like,
Well, he
Whoa,
went
wait.
he went to Dubai for part of his other job.
Well-
but
What's his
he got some of it for. So he does a couple
Nate
things.
Reinhardt?
he's got like a bunch
or is
of.
it-
He
Yeah,
does,
Nate Reinhardt. His main YouTube channel is Nalter Deeds. He's got about like
How do you?
N-A. It's like Walter with an N.
Oh, okay.
And then Deeds like a
Oh, yeah, it
contract
popped
for
up right
Deed.
away.
He's got like 250,000 subscribers or something like
dude,
that.
I am telling you.
He's pretty legit, but he got a big shout out a couple of years ago, and then like did YouTube for a while, and then realized like he just like loved content creation, and so he does a lot of it for himself. Like Fun Across America is like what he
Yeah.
like kind of his side gig almost, where he gets to just go travel and like host a show for somebody else. And just like go, it's like almost like Man versus Food for like fun places. Is the way I
Sweet.
describe it. It's like perfect daytime TV that hopefully someday will get picked up. But
It's sweet.
Yeah,
You
and
don't
then-
even need TV anymore. I
No.
feel like you can
True.
just.
I don't
yeah.
even like have.
just get it on
cable.
Me
Netflix
neither.
or something. Like if they can get like Netflix picks
Streaming.
everything up, right?
Yeah.
They're picking up Jake Paul versus Mike
Let's
Tyson.
let's talk about
Really?
it.
Hold up.
Perfect.
That's what they're fighting is
Yeah.
Netflix.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Yeah, that's gonna. It's the first one.
on Netflix.
Man, that's
ever.
cool.
What are your thoughts on that? Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
I think Mike Tyson in his prime is one of the scariest men
Oh,
alive.
yeah.
Oh my god.
He still is.
I mean, he bit a man's ear off.
Yeah.
That's basically like that's about as scary as a man gets, in my opinion.
No kidding.
And like, I just think even at 60 years old,
He's
he
fast.
is.
Yes.
Like you see some of those videos, you're like, Jake Paul's legit. Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Jake
He's
Paul's
pretty,
legit.
like-
Yes, I agree.
I think he's gonna get knocked out by Mike Tyson.
You think so?
I do. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it'll take a round or two. But I do think he's gonna get knocked because I just think
think
Mike
he's gonna
Tyson's
get-
got power that
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Unless
Well,
it's rigged, in which who
and-
knows?
well,
it
did
could
you
be.
see?
Did you hear about the rules?
No.
No,
And I
didn't
heard
hear
there's
rules.
different rules. Like,
Oh, gosh.
Jake Paul gets to wear a headset.
No.
Logan Paul is also able to fight if Jake
You're
needs to
lying. You're
tap- like,
lying.
I saw this TikTok. I don't know if it's real,
There's
Oh my
no
gosh.
way.
Just
but
keep
I
going,
was
keep
like,
going.
dude, what? If
Really?
that's true, that's gonna ruin the whole thing. For
Yeah,
me.
there's
Although-
no. That'd be so embarrassing for Jake.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
I heard Logan Paul said no to a fight against Mike Tyson. He like
Well,
was
he
interviewed.
did Floyd,
Yeah,
so like
Yeah.
that was pretty crazy.
That was
and he
crazy.
didn't die, which was even crazier.
but Floyd is the type
Floyd's
of
like smaller than me.
yeah, and Floyd's the type of boxer that's just gonna like
Pick
wear
you
you down.
apart.
Like, I don't think
Yeah.
especially. And he was older, and he was not like I mean, I don't
He
think
was there for the money.
Yes,
Let's be
he
honest.
was there for the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
He didn't really care. Like Logan Paul's way bigger than him.
It's like an exhibition fight.
Well,
It wasn't.
And
Right.
I feel like that's what this is, like the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I mean, they're gonna make so much money on
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much is Tyson hurting for money if he's fighting Jake Paul?
He has his own podcast, his own weed company. I think he's doing fine, but
Is
they
it
must
Jake
have.
Paul?
I don't know. They must have given them both a bag though,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, if it's on Netflix, how much money does Netflix have to give out? Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Too much?
Probably
Yeah.
too much. Yeah.
Especially after they won't let me use my parents' account anymore.
Jerks.
Oh my gosh.
Netflix.
Fake.
Yeah.
To buy my own.
Never let them sponsor us.
It's probably.
Gotta watch Love on
yeah.
the Spectrum.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the last fight that Tyson had against, who was another professional boxer? I can't remember his name, but I feel like they went at like half speed. They weren't
Yeah.
actually
Right.
like
It was
trying
more
to
of
kill
like
each
an
other.
expedition.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
curious. Are you gonna watch it July 20th?
Yes.
I think it's as long as you have Netflix. I think you can watch
yeah.
it. I
I'm
don't think
watching
it's like
it. I think we're
pay-per-view.
throwing a
Crazy.
party, or my buddy is going
have
to.
to. Have
Maybe
to
I'll do
throw
that
a
at my
party
new
for
place.
it.
That's the housewarming party. No.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, off topic again.
Well,
Squirrel.
so you think Tyson wins?
I do. I just
Okay.
unless like they just don't try. But like if they're both going as hard as they can, I just don't think there's any way that Mike Tyson
Right.
like
Can't
even
win.
at 60, like he is still a monster.
Yeah.
And he would still. I mean, he could. I think he could
He's a
still
tank.
like he would not compete super well with like the real like current boxers, but
Right.
like he could probably put up a fight with them still. I just feel like Jake is somewhere in between like a real boxer.
Almost there.
You know, he's almost there.
Yeah.
Like he's getting better every time, and I think he is legit with how he's been fighting. But
He's training his ass off.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually like him to see like him fight an actual professional boxer.
Well,
like,
he fought Tommy Fury, and Tommy Fury beat him.
yeah.
But Jake didn't look that good in that fight, honestly. But
Right.
you know, whatever.
But that's a real boxer now, right?
yeah.
So
Hey, I can appreciate that he's even trying.
Dude,
right?
yeah.
And this
People
is-
give him so much shit. It's like,
they've came a long way.
yes,
Both him
100%.
and Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. They used to just be Viners, and now
Yeah.
now he's
Vine.
fighting
Fringy
professional-
Viners too.
True.
I
No,
miss
he's
Vine,
fighting
man.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Like they fight
Yeah.
two of the best boxers of all time. Like even if they're
Yeah.
not in their
They
prime
made
anymore,
it. Like they made
Yeah.
it.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Talking
sorry.
about Vine getting canceled, right? Back in the day, or being
Yeah.
bought by Twitter. Let's talk about TikTok today.
Mm.
Congress passes the bill to ban TikTok.
Are they actually going to ban it?
The bill passed.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it passed this morning.
Really.
We're going to lose all of our 260 followers.
Man, I finally just hit 100 on my TikTok.
I don't know what they're gonna do, to be honest.
I'm sure China will sell to a U.S. owned company,
Yeah,
and then they're going to.
because if they don't, they're gonna lose 80% of their users.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like TikTok is. I mean, I think it's got to be the biggest or the most used social media app right now. I don't know what the metrics behind that, but it's got to be up there.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Snap's up there. Snap, Instagram, TikTok. Got
I don't
yeah,
have
Facebook.
Snapchat, but
I don't know. Use,
Facebook, Instagram.
Let's look it up. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Should we go? All right. So
Where'd you go to college?
yeah.
Went to the University of Northwestern in St. Paul, so
Okay.
stayed close to home, and studied finance there. Played baseball, and had a grand old time for 4 years.
Yeah.
So.
So you were in high school and middle school. Did you play sports also?
Yep. So
Okay.
I grew up basically playing basketball and baseball my whole life, and
Sure.
then like sprinkled other sports in there from time to time, but like basically those are the only two that I played like
Yeah.
for most of my life. So
Okay. Did you get a scholarship? You're tall. You're 6'5".
D3, it's kind of like the anti-scholarship, right?
Okay.
Where they almost like they make you pay to play. I got recruited to play baseball, but like it's like, hey, come here and then you can pay for these things and play baseball.
Yeah. I was like, when we went on board games, like you get to be on board games, but pay to get here to be on it.
Yeah.
So maybe I would have gotten some sweet NIL deals. I don't even know if they're allowed to do that with D3 at this point, but I don't think so.
Probably not. Well, maybe.
I could have called some people and been like, hey, here's my tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me walking to
Did-
first.
Did you like baseball or basketball more?
I've always basketball.
Basketball.
Basketball ever since I grew, because I was pretty short growing up, like one of the smallest guys in like all my sports teams up until my like sophomore year. I grew like 8 inches in high school, like my first 2 years of high school. And so, I went from like 5'8" to like 6'3", 6'4" by the end of my sophomore year.
Were you just sore as hell all the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I went from like this like 5'8", like
pretty tall.
like decently tall. I would say
That's pretty average.
Pretty tall.
Yeah, pretty tall.
5'8".
And then I got to 5'9", I was really tall. And then everything after that was bonus. But no, I came in like kind of a short, I wouldn't say like I was chunky, but like I was definitely like I wasn't like as skinny maybe. And then all of a sudden I grew like so quickly that I feel like I was just like 6'4", like 160, 150 pounds. And so
Maybe that was my problem. I was too skinny growing up. That's why I didn't get taller.
Same.
that's true.
That's what it was.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
Because then it eventually
Same,
just, you grow,
I mean,
it
my
grows
dad's 6'4", my brother's
Is he really?
6'3",
Yeah.
my other brother's 6'2", and my mom's 5'4", and then I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
Bullshit.
All right.
Sorry.
You had
Just
to
gonna
make-
put it out there.
Had to make like the singular wireless bars, you know.
Yeah.
You couldn't have too many people at the same height. So
Are you married?
I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
Nope, single man.
Cool.
Yes,
Looking.
sir.
Are you on
know-
dating apps?
I am. Dating
Okay.
apps suck though.
Yeah.
Like dating apps are truly the worst. And maybe Brady, I mean, you met someone on dating apps, but
Oh, I've met multiple people.
Okay.
If you go
All
back,
right.
if you go back to the beginning of this podcast, you can hear about somebody new every week.
absolutely. Of course. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying. I would say like
It's brutal.
I'm like not
Yeah.
really. I'm like far from desperate, right?
Yeah.
Like I would love to get married someday, but at the same time, I'm like I feel
Dude, you're
like
6'5". It's
yeah, I got time. So.
we play the field a little bit.
Yeah, no, I just feel like we're just waiting for the right person to come along.
Cool,
but,
I like
you know,
that.
We
They'll
go.
come.
What's
absolutely.
like the newest dating app? When I was around, it was like
Tinder.
Tinder and like Plenty of Fish. But
Fish.
yeah, it's probably. I think that was even before Tinder.
Wow,
Get over it, Plenty. I
Dude.
forgot that's where you
Yeah,
and Gene met.
yeah.
classic.
What is it? Like Hinge?
Hinge is probably.
Is that the
I mean,
main
that's the
one?
one
I think
that I'm
Hinge is
on. I'm sure there's other
top
ones
tier.
too, but
Oh, okay.
I know there are other
Or
ones.
Bumble?
Like Bumble and
Yeah.
Tinder, and I mean, there's a bunch of them, like other smaller ones. Farmers Meet or whatever. And I'm on
Yeah.
that one, but no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
FarmersOnly.com.
Hey, no judgment
I was
here.
like, hell yeah.
I'm not a farmer.
Yeah.
Maybe I could
Christians
be, but
only.
someday.
Isn't that
but,
another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm just like on Hinge. Just I try to go on dates now and then when I can, but also like
I feel like
you
you're
said,
average like one a month.
That's the goal, and I have friends who told me that was their goal. They're like, hey, we got to get ourselves out there. Like that's
Right.
If you can't find and it's not like after the month goes up, you're like, sorry,
Time's up.
your expiration date hit.
Yeah.
But
We're on to the next.
if it's
Yeah.
if it's not the right fit after a couple dates, then you're like, all right, well, I just got to try another one next month or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Yeah, it's best if it happens organically. I feel like
Yeah.
For
Like
sure.
you're at a bar, or, a coffee shop or something, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So, update on the social media app. Facebook has 3 billion monthly users.
Gosh.
That's about 38% of Earth's population.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Outrageous.
That is
I
insane.
didn't realize it was that high.
That's
No
in
kidding.
first.
yeah.
by
and then
far.
it's right after Facebook. It's Facebook Messenger.
Okay, well, yeah.
So Facebook Messenger and
Just
Facebook
Meta.
are just Meta is killing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they went down last week. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, and Instagram. You
Meta went
wasn't
down.
YouTube
Yeah.
also?
I don't know. I thought it was just
They're
Meta.
planning something. I know it.
It's fucking this guy.
My tinfoil hat on.
Always planning.
Yeah, that was weird. That was like, I was like uploading a bunch of stuff for Edge, and then all of a sudden it was like it kicked me out. I thought I got hacked. I think I texted you. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
"Hey, is
did.
your Facebook working?"
Yeah.
Anyways, what the hell were we talking about?
Sorry.
No, that was What?
There was we were talking
Dating?
Dating
dating,
apps.
and then
Hinge,
School.
Plenty of Fish, whatever that is.
yeah, true.
College,
Yeah.
getting out of
College.
college, going to the Bank of
Sports.
England.
Sports. Wait, what?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said getting out of college, going to the Bank of England.
Oh yes.
Is that your first stop?
No, first job out of college was actually at Walzer Automotive, and so
Oh, okay.
I was financing.
Car
yes,
dealer?
I was financing cars at Walzer Automotive.
Yeah.
And they do things very differently from like most car dealerships, where they like most car. You go walk into a car dealership, they got their finance guy in the back, they got their salespeople up front, and all this stuff. But like with Walls, their salespeople are still in there, but all the finance people are in their corporate office. And so I was one of like 20 people working for, I think they have 22 dealerships, and I was working for like 8 dealerships by the end of the time.
So you weren't like
there.
you're at a separate.
No, and it was like basically like salaried and like with like small bonus
commission,
structure.
Yeah.
It was basically like if you don't mess up, you get your bonus, which like sometimes you mess up and it happens. But
Did you like it?
The job itself was great. I met a couple of great people there, but the rest of it was just kind of like the worst. You know, it was. I mean, you had to work. Like it was tough because like you had to work you couldn't take Saturdays off. Like this job is very differently because it's like I'm happy to work weekends because it's for myself, but like working for someone else when like I had to miss a cousin's wedding because I couldn't take it off 2 months in advance because someone else in my team had already taken it off.
Sure.
So very unflexible, like weird hours. Like I'd work like 8 to 1 on Mondays, Tuesdays off, and then I'd work like noon to 9 on Wednesday,
Weird.
1 to 10 on like Thursdays, basically, and like very strange hours. Would just like stay up late and just game all the time because I had nothing else to do. Because I'm like,
let's talk about that.
Of course.
What games are you playing?
Well, this was 2018, and
Sure.
so like it was like peak Fortnite, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I had a buddy who was still in school, like working at Best Buy, and he was like he'd come home at like 9 o'clock, and I would come home at like 9:30, and we would just like we had like this code. You know, it was right when Drake's the Scorpion album came out, and so we'd just be like, God's Plan, and and we both just get on and play till like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Both of us
so
worked like
awesome.
the weirdest, worst schedules ever, but we were always up till like 2, 3
Just
in the morning.
getting sweaty.
Yeah, absolutely. But
That's awesome. Dude, I miss those days of just.
those were the days.
Dude,
Like-
I remember when COVID happened, I played a lot of Fortnite during COVID.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to do.
Like,
That's how I found one of my
Kinda
girlfriends.
fun.
Was during COVID, and we'd play Fortnite every day.
Oh,
together.
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
yeah. Yeah, COVID,
times.
just a lot of gaming, a lot of Netflix. Mm-hmm. Same pajama pants 3 days in a row. Like,
That's true.
yeah,
That was 4 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Like today, 4
yeah,
years
that's
ago.
crazy.
Yeah,
to
I
think
mean,
about.
it was March 15th that
When-
I got the call, which we'll go back to this eventually, but I got the call from my current employer, which was Bank of England Mortgage, saying basically like, hey, we just got the call from corporate, like everyone's going to have to work from home for a couple of weeks. Like, we're just going to go with the flow. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Like we're all working from home for a month or whatever. And then that turned into like a year.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this kind of just.
So you're still working just from home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were essential employees, helping people get into homes and refinance. And so,
Yes.
But no, luckily, like I could do everything. Like I feel like there was like a month of time right away that I just like didn't really even hardly leave because you like weren't able to do anything. So
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was really weird.
I remember being at school, and they like went over the intercom, and they're like, "Yeah, like, don't come to school tomorrow.
dang.
Like, school's out."
Yeah,
And we had
so
like 2
weird.
weeks off.
Would that
while
have
they
been,
had,
like,
no clue what to do?
Your senior
Yeah.
year of high
Junior.
school, junior year of high
Junior.
school. Dang.
Isn't that yeah?
And I was working at Polo at the time,
Shoot.
and they still paid me. They paid
Really?
me 40 hours a week for a month.
Dang.
Yeah, so
That's
I had
crazy.
I was getting paid for just doing nothing. I just had to hop on a Zoom call every Monday for about an hour, and that was it. And I would get 40 hours a week. I'm like, this is awesome. This is a
did
sweet
you-
company.
So you did senior year completely through COVID then.
I did senior year completely online,
Wow.
That's so crazy.
and then
to
I was
think
down in
about.
Florida for like 3 months.
Was it because it was only 1 year, I guess. Was that like did you hate it? Did you like it? Like
I lived in Florida, played golf every day. I'd do
you
school
hated
from
it.
like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'd be done by 8
Miserable.
a.m. and I wouldn't even think about school again.
oh my
I learned nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like my junior and senior year and college, I didn't learn anything. College, I cheated so much.
Yeah.
Hey, but look where you are now, okay?
Right? So-
Cheating
Thriving.
gets you into a winning lifestyle.
Yeah.
So.
That's
wait-
what we're trying to take away from this podcast.
What's there's that South Park episode. Have you seen that one? Where Cartman goes
Probably.
and teaches kids
Oh yeah,
how to
like
cheat?
inner city kids. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
based off a movie.
It's how what do you say? This is how.
Poetic justice or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So you're
Yep.
financing cars.
Yep.
You say peace out.
Deuces, yep. And then a year after that, met with who we mentioned earlier, Nick Theory, who was, shout out Nick, was working at a mortgage company called Bank of England Mortgage.
Which When you said that, I thought you meant you're in England working at a bank.
He was.
Yeah, I was. I had an accent for a while, but
You acquired an
people got
accent.
sick of it. So no, but Bank of England. I'll get to the background of Bank of England soon. But worked there, and I mean, just like met with Nick, met with our other boss at the time, and just like figured out it was going to be a good fit. So I was like, oh, I'll just like come be your assistant and learn how to do things because I hate my life right now. So like, and nothing could be worse. And so he's like, just come be like a loan officer. He's like, you could do this. And I'm like, cool. I was 22 at the time. I was like, sure, why not? If you say I can do it, I can do it, I'm sure. So and then just like figured out how to do it. But fun fact about Bank of England, not even based out of the country. It's a little town next to Little Rock, Arkansas called England, Arkansas. And that is where it's based out of.
Really?
So shout out Bank of
It
England.
sounds classy.
It was very classy. Yeah.
Yeah.
People thought it was like really cool, and I'm like, it's just like not that cool. But some people, you had to explain it to people because so many people were like, oh, I don't want England with my mortgage. And I'm like, we're out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Like, I promise. Like, we're not.
that
We're
funny.
It's not that deep.
It's not that.
We're
deep,
not going to
but
steal your tea. Like,
Yeah.
We might.
Yeah.
But no,
So
it was
then you
good. Got me
make
started.
a move
So.
from there.
Yeah, then moved over to Fairway October 2022, and have been there ever
Great
since.
month.
So
Great month.
yeah, great month, absolutely. Because we met probably September of 2022, like right before we decided to switch over.
And then
so,
I got licensed October of 22.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
It's been a while.
It has.
Wow, yeah, over a year. Someone asked me the other day, how long have we been doing the podcast?
Dude, we're coming up in a year.
Is it coming up on a
Really?
year?
Yeah. What episode is this? 40?
48 or 49?
We got
Dang.
like 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah, 52, I suppose. That makes sense.
Did you guys miss any?
I don't
missed-
think we
we missed
did.
one.
No, we did not.
We did.
Go look back. I looked
'Cause
back
you
and I
were-
didn't see anything. Because
I
I was in
swear.
Vegas. You were in Vegas. No, we filmed one before then. We were fine. We didn't miss any.
Are you sure?
I am positive.
Interesting.
Gets a little
Well, you guys
upset.
you guys had like a week or two to figure it out, but like, how disappointing would it be if you guys did like a year episode, 52, and then all of a
It was-
sudden you're
it was
like,
like
oh
50.
shoot, it's been a week and a year and a week.
I uploaded onto like RSS, and
Yep.
I go by like episode, and we're on 48.
Okay.
So like I know for even if we missed a week, it would be like our whatever.
We gotta be. I mean, we'll figure it out. One
Yeah,
day.
it doesn't
I don't
matter.
think we were even posting on Mondays when we first started, and
Probably not. Yeah.
we kind of got into a rhythm now, and just kind of kept.
Yeah, I need to keep a routine, otherwise the rest of my life is just in chaos.
with some ADHD.
It's having a 2-year-old and yeah.
Fair.
Okay, so Fairway October 22, just been
Sir.
crushing
Been
it
there
ever
since.
since.
Doing our best. Yeah, it's been great. I love the people I work with. I mean, with the Oliver White team, and he is not only a crusher but a fantastic leader.
Yeah.
And just having him and all the people around me who are crushers as well is just it makes you want to be a crusher. So
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Oliver White team.
sure.
You guys could be a competitive NBA team. Let's
I think
be honest.
so. I
Really?
I'm like 6'5", which we talked about a little bit
Yeah.
earlier. I believe I am the 4th tallest in our office, and so Oliver's like 6'8", 6'9", and we got 2 like 6'6" to 6'7" guys, and
What?
we got
Everybody's tall.
Nick's about 6'2", 6'3". We got a couple more like 6-footers. Like we've talked
Then you got
about
Stevie T.
Stevie T. He's
gotta be, what,
sneaky?
5'9"?
Yes, he's a sneaky 5'9" though.
He's running.
Who's
point.
that?
Steven Tran.
Oh, I see him all over face.
Steven
Dude, he's
Tran
like a
is
master
everywhere.
like
He's a killer.
networker.
He's a good guy.
Yes, sir.
He's fun too.
But yeah, we've talked about like joining a basketball league, but then we had one guy who's probably the most athletic guy in our office tear his Achilles like 3 weeks ago playing basketball, and then another guy who I learned, he was with Fairway, but then he just came over and joined our team. He apparently was in the same volleyball league as me. We played but in the week there was playoffs the last 2 weeks. And I see him like getting like helped off like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, we were in the same league, but he like turned his ankle like completely swollen, and so we crushed his team on Monday and won the championship. But
Again, back to back.
But either way,
Going
we got
back to
people
back.
moving out, or not. We got people breaking ankles, tearing Achilles, and so
Guys are too athletic.
Part-time loan officers, full-time
Hospital
athletes?
attendants.
something like that.
Yeah.
Professional, semi-professional.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Should we do?
the questions? I don't know the answers.
I wrote down the answers.
Okay.
This is like something Brady sent me. It's like, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Okay.
There's 5 questions. I
Exciting.
think I knew most of them, but
Okay.
I didn't know all of them.
we'll start with the first one. What is the center of an atom called?
The nucleus.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, gosh.
I'll put a
Okay.
sound effect.
If nothing else, I got one right, and that's all I care
Yeah,
about
yeah.
at this point.
Let's just touch on that. He said he's going to put a sound effect. He won't.
Yeah, I'm going to forget for sure. Scientist that studies rocks.
Archaeologist?
No. Those dinosaurs.
Geologist.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Archaeology
we'll count it.
is...
They're fossils?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Archaeologist,
sorry.
yeah.
Geologist.
We'll
he
count
knows
it.
his
We'll
stuff.
count
He
it.
knows it.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm going too quick.
Leave. What type of energy do we get from the sun?
Oh, gosh. What type of energy? My sister-in-law is going to kill me because she
I think I know this.
Yeah.
knows science. What kind of energy do we get from the sun?
You're
I sold a
overthinking it.
house with it.
I what?
I sold a house with it.
Oh, like solar energy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely overthinking
Half,
it.
half points.
I was thinking like photosynthesis. Not a plant though. Like
What do you call the study of weather?
Ooh.
I know. Gosh,
Why is this so hard? Like,
the study of weather. I know what it's called. I'm like this. This is an easy one that I'm blanking on.
ooh, I think I know it.
What are the weather people called? They're
yeah.
called. Shoot.
It's a big word, to be
Yeah.
fair.
How many letters? 9?
The study of weather. You know it's
13.
It's
Holy-
stupid.
Well, I guess it depends how you. There's past tense and meteorology.
Meteorology.
Yeah.
Yes. It was
That
one
was
of
a
those-
like.
it's when you know, but like,
Yeah,
yeah.
sometimes
You don't
just
think
don't
about
think about it.
I'm not saying meteorology all the time.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Last one. What type of animal is a frog?
An amphibian.
Yes.
Whoa, I
Okay.
would have said reptile.
That same.
I
I
would've
said
said
reptile.
reptile.
I said
Okay.
reptile.
I feel okay about my answers. I feel like I should have gotten them all, but I'm also.
I think you're smarter than a 5th grader.
Yeah.
I technically haven't taken like a science class since my sophomore year of
Like
high
a
school.
decade almost.
Yeah.
And so probably 12 years at this point. I tested out of like an environmental science class in college, so I didn't have to take any science
Oh,
classes. It took me 2 times, but still cheaper than
Huge
actually
flex.
taking a class and way less time.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. We'll
Yeah.
take it.
Huge flex.
No, that was good. I want to talk about your future. Are you so at Fairway? You guys have like teams, and then you said Oliver White is like the team lead.
Basically,
Kinda, is that
like the Oliver White team or like Fairway North, but like
Okay.
he almost like I feel like he wants to kind of like take over the whole
Company
like
almost.
Midwest. Yeah,
Yeah.
truthfully the whole company maybe someday,
He's
but
like
like the
Tom at
Midwest
this point.
region,
Really?
like I think him and Tom, who is like kind of call him the shadow partner, if you will, the guy behind the scenes who's not like ripping loans, but also like you couldn't make it work without him, and so I think they could. I mean. They are both so smart and so good at what they do, and so they would like love if everyone like branched off and started their own team and like kept underneath like the Fairway North is what we're trying to call it now, I guess, like branch. And so like Nick Theory, like I'm a part of like kind of like the Theory Mortgage Group as well, just because Nick's the guy I've been with forever. He's been like a mentor, and so I'm like, yeah, if I can push our team, like I don't need my name on it. Like I'll just do my own loans and we can be a part of like the Theory Mortgage Group. So, but yeah, technically like everyone can have their own team, but like not everyone, for the most part, everyone right now is just like trying to grow their own business.
Yeah.
And then eventually the hope is that everyone will, maybe if they want to, like add other loan officers to train underneath them and then, kind of do it that way.
recruits
But-
kind of?
Right.
What's like your 5-year plan? I know you've been at Fairway for almost 2 years.
Year and a half.
Yep, year and a half. 5-year plan for life.
I know
or
you
work.
just bought a house. Yeah, I guess life, because I know you're moving in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Do you plan on buying more
Are
investment
you
properties?
keeping your Golden Valley house?
No, it's going up for sale Thursday.
Ooh.
I know, which so far I got a number of showings, so hopefully, and I got
it's gonna
PTSD
go.
because that flip property took a while to sell, and
It's gonna go.
Yeah.
You also sold it in like
like the fall, and like
Yeah.
it was that one was right on the highway, kind of, and
Is
so
it nice?
like it was nice.
Yeah.
they did a good job. Your
Yeah.
house though now is nice.
It's nice. It's this one is in a way better location, and like it just makes more
It's
sense
gonna go.
for. I think so. I think we're so hopefully it'll sell quickly, but we'll see. We'll learn more this weekend, I guess. But 5-year plan. I mean, I don't plan on doing anything else with my life other than like doing mortgage loans. Like I love doing this, and so I don't plan on like really leaving. I don't really plan on like. I mean, even when times are tough, it's like just work harder.
grind.
So I think. I mean, we've kind of been. We talk about it all the time. Like we're kind of working with our one arm behind the back sometimes, just because it's like rates have been high. Like people don't refinance which is truthfully like it's like if Brady was only allowed to buy, help buyers and not sellers, right?
Yeah.
Like to a certain extent. And so if we can get through this, you can get through anything. And so I'm like I'm just planning on just keeping on grinding, especially being like youngish and single and just like having a ton of time on my hands. And so
Single, ladies.
Yeah. Emphasis on single.
yeah,
This is
that's
where
true.
you're gonna find your next date. Is from the
It's
Through
true.
podcast.
podcast. And then we'll have her on.
Yeah,
That'd
in
be
like
cool.
6 months. Yeah.
There you go. I like that.
What do you still play video games, or what do you do in your free time?
In the winters,
Yeah.
I like it's just something to pass the time when it's too cold. Like I still try to be active and play basketball and volleyball and a lot of golf in the summers. And I mean, I feel like golf in the summers is what takes up like most of my time if I'm not working. Because if I can, I'll be out there like 3-4 times a week. Because like I said, I got nobody else currently to tell me I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I try to be just active as much as I can.
That's
Yeah.
all you do in the winters. You don't do anything else. You don't go anywhere else. Some
Well,
nights.
travel.
I went skiing for the first time in 20 years this year. So
What? How was it?
It was great. I learned, the first time I put the skis on, I was like, all right, this is not like walking around was the hardest part. Like going down the hill, I was like, all right, this isn't too hard. But like walking around with like extended shoes was like, all right, I'm like, I feel like an idiot. But yes, also in the winter, I am a big basketball fan, as
There
we
it
talked
is.
about. I do love my Minnesota Timberwolves, and I do watch a lot of those games. And my brother and I have season tickets, and so we go to a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves games because of that.
I think Brady. They're good seats too, right?
They are pretty good seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're pretty amazing seats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brady and Maddie got to take advantage of those the other week.
I was on the phone with her on the way here, and I said we were doing a podcast, and she said, "You gotta thank him." And she goes, "If he has any seats like that again, please let me know." I'm like, "Of course you want to go."
I'm glad you guys had fun. I was going to say, Brady, I was asking Brady if like, do you want to come to the game? He's like, oh, Wednesday's day night. I'm like, perfect. Just bring Maddie then. I'm like, I'm out. I watched from afar, obviously, with my binoculars. But no, you guys looked like you had a great time. So
The best part about it was the day before my brother's house closed, and Brett did the loan for my brother, and you were like, yeah, take Maddie. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ask my brother first, and you're like, hey, that's on you, not on me. I tried to give him to Maddie, and my brother said no. So
dang,
I think we did touch on that.
which
And we did touch on that.
We weren't too happy about that.
Not
But,
happy.
Hey, Maddie was blessed to be there, and she's
Amen.
like quoted today. I think basketball is my favorite sport to watch.
Wow. There we go.
Shout out Maddie.
Shout out Maddie.
That's
Shout out
awesome.
Maddie.
How do you think you would do against a
Like
professional? LeBron, I guess.
It's funny. We have this conversation as friends all the time of like, if you had 10 shots to score on LeBron James for like $1 million, right? Like, but LeBron is like trying as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's just like,
It's like
this
playoff-
is
aggressive.
like he doesn't
like-
care. Like, if
It's a
he
playoff
loses,
situation.
he's got to pay $100 million to somebody, something like that. Like he's got all the motivation in the world to try super hard. Could you score? And we talked about all the ways if it was just like one-on-one, no chance. Like
not even a little.
Not even.
How tall is he?
He's like 6'9", but like he's 260 pounds. Like he's got like 50, 60 pounds on me, and also is twice as fast. I feel
old
like
man strength too.
Totally.
Yeah.
But like we joke about it all the time. Like all you have to do is like maybe you just like chucked 9 shots straight or 8 shots straight up. Like you just try to shoot as quickly as you can over your head, anything right away. And then like the 9th one, you like pump fake, and maybe you get one, you get him, because you're just like, you're just getting in his head. That's all you're gonna try to do and hope for the best. And then all it takes is one for him to just bite on. So
watch out, LeBron.
You have to get tricky, but I think there's a very, very small chance, if I'm being real, that I could score on LeBron James. Maybe there's a chance I could like score on somebody that's a little bit shorter.
Curry?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But like he's still so much better at that. Like I'm not gonna act like I could like score 2 baskets on Curry pretty easily. But like, it's just the thought that like I couldn't get a shot up over LeBron probably.
Right.
And if you have someone like, if we want to be real, like a Mike Conley, for example, who's like 6'3", or Jordan McLaughlin, who's 6 feet tall, like. If I'm dribbling the ball, he's taking it right away. But if I'm just like holding the ball as high as I can and just shooting kind of abnormally, there's a chance I make 1 out of 10. Yeah. So
what about like Rudy?
Rudy, I would have 0 chance.
Really? You don't think you can beat him?
He is locking down guards on the perimeter.
Yeah,
I'm a Rudy truther here.
And he's what, 7?
He's 7'1", 7'2", yeah. I had no shot.
Who's
Luka? That's the question.
Ooh, what is that guy?
Luka Garza?
He's an alien.
Luka Garza or Luka Doncic?
Luka Garzo.
No. I was going to say, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking, because he's talking about the other guy. I'm talking about the
Luka
Wolves.
Doncic is an alien who's unbelievable at basketball, but like also
does not give one shit about basketball either.
Dude, he's so like...
He just wants to know more about his horses. That's all.
No, that's really Jokic. That's Jokic.
Oh, that's who I'm wait.
That's who you're thinking about.
No.
Guy?
I'm thinking of Luka.
Luka's on the Mavericks.
Yes.
And
he plays so like it looks like he's like just learning to walk and play basketball the way he plays.
Yes.
And somehow I just don't get it.
No.
He looks so uncoordinated.
He is crazy because he is a little bit. He looks like he's going slow, but then he goes by goes by the best defenders in the NBA. And you're like, how did you do that?
Yes.
But it is crazy. But Luka Garza, I have no chance.
Really?
He was the best player in D1 college basketball for 2 straight years. He's a guy that barely plays in the NBA, but
yet get it.
Was the greatest. It's just because he's undersized a little bit,
Yeah.
He just needs a chance. Scored 7 points for us the other night. So.
Hey, he looked good.
But Anthony Davis owned us that game too. So
yeah. What? Caitlin Clark.
Oh,
you think you can get her 1-on-1? She's not that tall.
Can he dunk?
Can I dunk? I did nearly dunk on Sunday. Just like trying to like dunk. I was able to dunk pretty easily in college, and then the less you play, the less like those muscles get used, and you're like, like I just can't jump as high. But I think I could dunk if you gave me like a week to like really try and get warmed up.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Clark, I think I could score. I mean, she would crush me in a game of 1-on-1. But like, could I score on? Oh, she is so talented.
I know she's so good, but
best like Division I basketball player of all time.
The problem is that like I am larger than her. Like she's 6 feet tall and probably like 150, and I'm 6'5", 210. Right? Like the difference is 60 pounds and 5 inches. So like if I played like a big man and just like was boring.
5 inches is a lot. I'm just saying.
Well above average, if you ask me. But we're talking about height, obviously.
Yes,
but,
of course.
They. I mean, I think I could score, but she would beat me. Like, I have enough basketball skill to know. I would just put my back to the basket, though. Like, I think she would own me if I tried to like dribble around her.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she is super talented.
Yeah.
Last one for you, Brett. Okay. Anthony Edwards.
I have no chance. I
think you could score.
I have no chance.
Out of 10 tries?
No, not even remotely one. Like if his life depended on it, he could stop anybody in the NBA, no matter how big or small they are. I think he could be the best defender if he like cared 100% of the time. He just cares 20% of the time on defense. So.
I like the humility.
Yeah.
That you just, even though,
no shot. I'm a
realist.
Is his dad Michael Jordan?
Oh yeah, of course. Him and Jimmy Butler are probably brothers and like half brothers or something like that.
It's crazy how much they look alike.
They do. And somehow, some way, I'm sure it probably happened, and he just didn't even know. So Michael Jordan probably has a ton of illegitimate kids that he doesn't know about. Right? Most of them just aren't in the NBA. So,
yeah. What about? Do you think Jake could score on you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I got a roommate in college who basically barely played a lick of basketball his entire life, but was like okay at basketball. He beat me in a game to 11 one time.
No way.
He hit like 3 shots from like.
Were you trying though? Like, were you like?
Not really.
Okay.
It was
not life or death type
no,
of deal?
because I beat him 11-1 the next game.
Okay. You were like,
but
I'm not letting this
he hit a
again.
bank 3 from probably 6 feet behind the 3-point line to beat me, and I was like, well, I don't know what you do there. So yeah, I think Jake. If my life depended on it, it would be close. But like, I'm not like fantastic. Like, I think you could.
He's being humble.
Do you think you can?
No.
Can you make a layup?
I played. I played basketball up until 10th grade.
Oh yeah,
and then
sure
for fun, like 11th and 12th, and then just
like
here
some
and there.
house ball, any Dyna.
11th and 12th, yeah, just
Cake
like
eater.
yeah, but like
love that.
Till 10th grade, it's like I played in just whatever the sports like local, whatever.
Bless you.
I want to know your top 5 favorite all-time NBA players. Doesn't have to be like the best, but just like your top 5.
Top 5 favorite all-time. Well, we'll start off on a slightly
Actually,
more
before we do that, let me restart the camera. This is a good play.
Perfect. I thought we were doing an ad read. Before we do that, sponsored by.
Sponsored by Celsius.
Oh man, I have to think. Some of them are gonna be wild, but
No. That's yeah. All right, top 5 of your favorite NBA players. Doesn't have to be the best. but-
okay. Well, number 1, just because he was the guy that I grew up watching the most, Kevin Garnett.
yeah.
Timberwolves legend. He is. I mean, just a guy that like as a kid playing basketball growing up, like in Minnesota. He was the only reason any of the teams were ever, the Timberwolves have ever been good, up until recently.
Marbury and Garnett, and there was a third one that was like, they're like the trio.
Well, it was Marbury and Garnett, and they had like Wally, but then there was Sprewell and Cassell and KG, and that was when they were really good.
Cassell. Yeah, I don't remember.
But those guys were, that was like when the Timberwolves were the best team in the West, like made it to the Western Conference Finals, and he won an MVP, and yeah, he was just like the guy growing up.
He was mean too.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. He was always like a jerk, which like you don't really
$25 Amazon slippers.
You don't really think about as like a kid. You're like, oh, he's just my favorite player, but he talked a lot of trash to everybody. It didn't matter who you were, and you hear some quotes from some of the things he said, and you're like,
damn.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That was my
Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah, right? Dude, he's a trained killer.
Right.
So Garnett's your number 1.
He's been my number 1, forever.
Okay.
And then like just through having, it's tough because a lot of these are going to be Wolves as well. I'm trying to think about.
But
I'm trying to think about
you
like
grew
other.
up courtside basically, didn't you?
Well, no, because we've only had these tickets for like 10 years, which
only
I mean is
10
a long
years,
time.
but that's a long time.
Yeah, only 10 years.
And you like
decade.
personally get to basically know these guys, like how they act
true.
around the court, and like.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my all time. This is now. I think at this point, it's probably no particular order anymore. Yeah. My brother and one of my other really good buddies who knows the Wolves are probably the only 2 that could ever have guessed this guy. But Gorgie Jang is one of my favorite basketball players.
I don't even know who that is.
He was on the Wolves forever.
Okay.
He won a national championship at Louisville.
No way.
And he's just like he was good. Like he was good, but just like a better person and like just locker room guy who like I don't know what it was about him, but I was always like Gorgie's my favorite Timberwolf of all time for some reason.
That's
cool.
cool.
Random, but is him. I mean, like it's tough because I've seen Carl from like the beginning, Karl Anthony Towns, like Anthony Edwards is probably. I mean, truthfully, already Anthony Edwards is probably in my top 5 just because I think he's going to be one of the all-time greats. And I mean, the fact that anybody that speaks well of Minnesota, it's very easy to be like, Ant is like Minnesota's better than LA and like New York. It's like, why would I want to leave? And I'm like, That's such a good point.
That's cool.
I'm like, who says that? Nobody says that.
Yeah.
So, and then I guess you think about like other players growing up. Like, I mean, I've always been a LeBron guy. Like LeBron is. I mean, I've always wanted LeBron to be the greatest of all time because I never saw. Like, I grew up. I was born in '96 when Jordan was in his prime, and so by the time I was
you just missed it,
right?
Yeah,
and so I'm like, but I saw LeBron from his rookie year on as like a kid. Basically, it's like that's what you want to cheer for. You know, I get all the Jordan truthers because they watch Jordan, and like that's who they grew up watching.
You think LeBron or MJ?
I think LeBron. I mean, personally, just because of what I'm like, because I grew up like watching him, LeBron. But like, I think Jordan has just if not a stronger argument. But,
do you think Kobe's in that conversation?
Of course, has to be.
He's my favorite, and I'm not like a huge sports
Kobe
guy,
and Kobe might be that other guy for me.
That top five.
That top five.
I mean, you saw him break.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched him. Well, I watched 81. Not 81, but I did see him. So when he passed Jordan on the all-time scoring list for like third all-time at the time, that was at Target Center. And
really?
It was cool because like there was a big like a picture that ESPN everyone was posting when like he was going like this, and I was in the background, and so that was like I mean, I got a couple all-time moments from having those tickets and like being at those games, but
the play-in game 2 years ago.
The play-in game. That was unbelievable.
Wait, the what?
When Pat Bev and Anthony Edwards like stood on the score table and were like cheering, and everyone made fun of us because we were going crazy. And
it was like we just won the
but we just basically it was a game to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, and we lost.
Everybody's losing their mind.
Yes, but hey, we were stoked, so that's all that mattered. But yeah, I guess because that's 4, I guess, and then Kobe would be close. Like I've always loved Kobe, but. Yeah. I'm trying to think about like other.
Curry up there for you or?
No, it was tough to cheer for the Warriors dynasty. Especially when Durant went over there.
Yeah,
like I respected them a lot, and then
they're just stacked.
He's lengthy.
Like, it's almost like unfair.
Just lengthy.
Truly.
Yeah, Durant looks. He looks like a stick figure.
Yeah.
If you want to get real random and real throwback,
throw in like Rick Rubio.
Ricky Rubio is one. He's up there too. Just because like they're Minnesota guys, but if you want to throw someone else in there, that's like not. I never watched play. You know, he played a long time ago.
Klay Thompson.
No,
what did he still playing today?
I said, the guy. I haven't said his name yet.
Oh, I thought you said Klay.
My last guy, who maybe is like just a guy who played a long time ago in like the 50s and 60s, but like just like the legend of him.
Wait.
The legend of him has always been so interesting, and like I read a book about him last year, like one of his like autobiographies, and like it's Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah,
the guy who scored 100 points in an NBA game. Like everyone says if stats were being recorded, he'd have like he was averaging 50 points a game, and slept with 20,000 women. Like who is is he real?
That stat alone puts him in GOAT status.
You're like, is this man real?
Yeah.
Which I honestly because then he died in the 90s, and so he never really I never really got to even see interviews, or he never got to talk, and
he's like a myth.
Yeah, exactly. He's almost like a myth to me, and just the 100-point record is something that who knows, it might be broken at some point, but
hard, though.
He's got so many records that just I think will never be broken. I just have always
wasn't
thought
there
that's
a certain
the coolest thing ever. So
a certain rule though back then, the time limit. There was something where it was not that it's easy to break 100, but
there's
there was
no 3-point line.
There was no 3-point line, but he.
There was something where it was of course it was possible. There's different rules or something.
There was definitely different rules, and I have no doubt that
maybe
the rules probably helped him, but also he was 7'1", 7'2", where the next tallest man was probably 6'8", 6'7". They joke about plumbers and electricians playing in the league, but I think that's true. You watch some of those guys dribble, and you're like, yeah, these guys probably did do plumbing on the side.
They're drunk and
yeah, for real.
Yeah.
What about Larry Bird, Magic Johnson?
Of course, I think those two guys. I think it's tough. I've always liked those guys. I think Larry Bird is always one of the most underrated players of all time.
100%.
And Magic Johnson would be probably considered one of the greats, if not or he is. But if he just played a 20-year career, he'd probably be considered the greatest player of all time. And that's a
little bit of a hot take. Looked up to Jordan.
Wait, say it again.
Isn't that who Michael looked up to?
Probably a little bit, yeah.
Magic Johnson?
Because he was like 4 or 5 years older than Jordan. And, I mean, Jordan got him in, like, his beginning of the time, and then obviously like the whole HIV thing kind of like stopped him from playing in the 90s completely, and that's when Jordan just kind of like dominated. So I'm assuming like that's probably true, but I don't know enough about like the Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan lore, I guess. But
yeah, I think it was mentioned in that what was the documentary?
The Last Dance.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That was a good
you watched it, right?
Of course. I mean, it was COVID.
Yeah.
You know, everyone watched it at the same time.
There's nothing else to do.
Was that when Squid Games came out?
Squid Games was like 2 years ago.
Squid Games was when I was in college.
Was it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was it 2021 or 2022?
22.
Okay.
Makes
sense.
It was like beginning of 22.
Gotcha. That checks out.
Anything else?
I was going to say something.
Oh, I want to know what your parents do.
Yeah.
I know this kind of going back to your origins, but we never really...
They're both, I would consider, retired at this point.
Oh, nice.
You know, kind of.
Yeah.
My dad's retired, and he snowbirds. He's in Arizona like half the time, and then he's up in Bemidji the other half.
Nice.
He loves both those places, and truthfully, they're both great places to like go visit too. So, and then my mom, it's tough to say what she does. I would consider her like kind of retired, but also like not really. She just like she likes new business ventures every like 6 months or so. And so, you know, if she sees something she likes, she'll sell it, or you know, she'll do something. And but yeah, I mean, just basically like she's an entrepreneur, you know, and every once in a while she'll start a business and run it for a couple years and then sell it or something.
Successfully,
like that. Or you know, she does fine.
Okay.
I would say successful is, you know, up for interpretation to a certain extent.
Got it.
If you wanted to ask for making money, I'd say maybe not, but successful.
Hey, good for her though.
I mean, she kills. I think she does it to like help people, and she's been able to like, I mean, do a lot of really cool things because of it. Like,
that's cool.
Sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't. So,
wow.
Do you take after your mom or your dad more?
I would think maybe my mom a little bit.
Okay.
Probably because like my dad's a big like outdoorsy person, like hunting, fishing, and like growing up that was just like never me. I was a city boy, and so which my mom very much so is like a city girl, and so it's like I think it makes sense. Like I enjoy fishing now. Like I don't go hunting all that often, but and I think like personality wise, I'm probably like a little bit of a mix of both to a certain extent.
That's cool.
But I would say probably more my mom if I had to guess.
Nice.
So,
any other, just the question or?
Yeah, just the question.
How do you want to be remembered when you're gone?
Oh, what a deep, great question. I feel like just being someone that is kind to others. You know, someone that like people will be like, he was always there for me. You know, we joke about me. I think like on my social media, I post like always available, you know, for work, always available. And my friends
Except
always
joke. One day a year,
except
he's
for my
not.
mom's birthday. That's the joke.
Is that coming up soon too?
April
right?
28th.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, don't call me on that day, but
We'll put his number up
yes.
here. You guys.
But yeah, I mean, just someone that like was always there for the people like I cared about the most, and like someone that obviously like, cared for the people around him and like was generous to the people around him. But like, just I want to do everything without any expectation in return, and like that's just kind of always. I think I get a lot of that from my mom, and like that's just how I've always been taught, because I've seen it basically from just family basically, and so that's where if I can be the same way that she's always been, of just like a very giving of not only like however you can, whether it's time or financial or whatever it is, like just giving to others and just like pouring into people, like that's how I would like to be remembered.
That's awesome. That's
awesome.
That's
Yes,
a really
sir.
good answer. Brett, thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find you?
You know, people can find me all over the place, you know, in Plymouth, you know, in a month.
Put his address here.
No, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok for a couple more weeks, probably. You know, I think Instagram, I can't remember what my handle is, but it's somewhere up there.
Brett J. Reinhardt, I want to say.
Yeah, it's Brett J. Reinhardt, something like that. That sounds right. It sounds very business-like. So, yeah, probably Brett J. Reinhardt. But I mean, I post mortgage stuff. Sometimes I post like real stuff, and like I posted about our volleyball team the other day. But yeah, social media is tough. So there, or just like anywhere. Just call me.
I've heard. I always hear your name come up, and everybody always has nice things to say about you. And
I'm glad to hear.
Killer loan officer.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.